Benoit Saint-Denis versus Renato Moicano is shaping up to be one of those fights where the stakes feel high for both men. And I'm not gonna lie, it's one hell of a main event for a fight night, man. Both fighters need this win, and whoever walks away this victory will gain a lot of momentum in their career. Now, let's start with Moicano. The guy is on a 3-fight win streak, which is a big deal because not too long ago, people weren't exactly treating him like a top contender. I'll admit, even I thought he was just another decent mid-tier fighter at best. But now with the resurgence, if he bags up a 4th straight win, people are going to start putting some real respect on his name. Sure, beating Benoit Saint-Denis might not launch him into immediate title contentions, but it would definitely get people talking. At the very least, they'll stop thinking of him as just another guy who's decent. On the flip side, Saint-Denis really needs this win too. He just fought one of the greatest lightweights to ever do it, Dustin Poirier, so there's no shame in losing to that guy like that. But back-to-back losses could make people question if he's been overhyped. He's still young in the UFC, and a win here would keep his stock from dropping. Plus, there's nothing like shutting up the doubters, am I right? So, in a way, this fight is like two guys standing at a career crossroads. Whoever wins gets to keep moving forward, and whoever loses might find themselves stuck in the MMA equivalent of the DMV. You know, long lines, no progress, nobody wants to be there. Now, with that being said, Moicano absolutely cannot afford to lose this fight. The betting odds favor Saint-Denis with him as a minus 250 favorite, and Moicano is the underdog at a plus 210. This suggests that BSD is expected to win, but Moicano could be a solid pick for an upset if you're feeling lucky. And it's possible too, because what really sets Moicano apart is his elite level Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and grappling. When he's on top, he smothers his opponents using his superior technique to control and dominate, often leading to submissions. I mean, just look how he submitted Cub Swanson and Brad Riddell in the first round. And even when he doesn't get the submission, Moicano's ability to out-grapple and mix in the ground and pound keeps his opponents consistently on the defensive. However, Moicano's striking has always been his Achilles heel. It's kind of mid. He's got those pillow fists, man. It's like watching someone trying to knock you out with a feather. He's not a bad striker, but he's decent at best. He brings a good volume and sets a solid pace, but his chin, oh man. His chin is weaker than your Wi-Fi at a crowded coffee shop. One solid shot and he's buffering, man. I mean, take Moicano's last fight against Jalen Turner for an example. He got dropped really bad and was on the verge of losing, but Turner made a baffling decision. He basically handed Moicano the win by walking away mid-fight like he had somewhere else to be. Moicano took full advantage of this, flipped the script, and took Turner down and beat him up until the ref had to step in to give Moicano the TKO victory. Turner might as well have handed him a participation trophy instead of making him work for it. Now, let's talk about Benoit Saint-Denis. This guy is a beast, to say the least. He's got some strong wrestling, and when he decides to take you down, it's a rough night ahead. He's landed 18 takedowns in just 7 fights, and when he gets you to the mat, it's like hunting for a submission with a laser focus. And don't sleep on his power. BSD's got some serious pop in his strikes, even on the ground. But here's the catch. His defense is still a work in progress. He's great offensively, but defensively, he leaves himself wide open, more than a 24-hour convenience store. We saw this when he dominated the first round against Dustin Poirier, only just to get knocked out in the second. It was like he went from being Rocky to Glass Joe in the matter of minutes. What's funny is how their last fights were like mirror images. Saint-Denis crushes the first round against Poirier, but then gets knocked out in the second round. Meanwhile, Moicano gets rocked in the first round against Turner, only to turn it around in the second and secure a TKO. One fighter crashed after a great start and the other salvaged a win after a terrible one. Now, looking at this matchup, it's very unpredictable, but my gut is saying BSD takes it. Moicano striking isn't the sharpest. Watching him strike is like watching a baby giraffe trying to walk. It's awkward, unbalanced, and you know it's not going to end well. His lack of knockout power doesn't help either. I don't think Moicano will be able to handle the pace and pressure of BSD, especially in the first round. I mean, just look at that Poirier fight. BSD was all over Dustin until things went sideways. Sure, maybe the staph infection played a role in his cardio dipping, but even then, Dustin's a dog and he found a way to win. I don't think Moicano has the same dog in him. And I know Dustin said Moicano might win, but he's just saying that because they're teammates. And yeah, his BJJ is top tier, but Moicano is nearly 35 years old now. And we've seen him get out-grappled by RDA. And sure, it was on short notice, but dude, it's freaking RDA. Who doesn't out-grapple him nowadays? Plus, BSD's got that kind of power that can put Moicano's shaky chin to the test. Even if BSD's technique isn't always the cleanest, he excels at making fights messy. And I don't see this one going all 5 rounds. I'm predicting a knockout for BSD in the first or second round. And who knows, maybe I'm wrong and this is the fight where BSD gets exposed, but honestly, his wins have aged very well. I mean, Matt Favola was on a 3-fight win streak before BSD beat him. Thiago Moises was on a 2-fight win streak, and he shut down Bonfim's hype. Meanwhile, Moicano's recent opponents, like Jalen Turner, who was 1-3 in his last 4 fights, Drew Dober is 1-3 in his last 4 fights as well, and Brad Riddle is on a 3-fight losing streak. And if I could be real with you guys, I'm just not seeing Moicano pulling this one off. BSD is definitely the stronger, more physical fighter. The guy is built like a tank and probably packs more power in his strikes. But he's reckless. He charges forward like he had 6 Red Bulls. That could leave an opening for Moicano to wrap him up and take his back if BSD overcommits. We've seen Moicano pull out slick submissions before, so it's not out of the realm of possibilities. The real question is, can BSD keep up this relentless pace without gassing? BSD thrives in chaos of the early rounds, coming out fast and aggressive. But if Moicano can weather that storm, the fight could get really interesting as it goes on. If BSD starts to gas out again, yeah, I know he had staph infection in his last fight, and antibiotics can mess up your stamina, but if he fades regardless, Moicano could definitely flip the script. But the bottom line is Moicano cannot afford to lose this fight. His back is against the wall, and a loss here can really hurt his standing in the division. Anyways, I think this fight is going to start off with pure chaos. BSD will impose his will early, and Moicano might land some good shots as BSD charges in. I just think BSD will drag him into a wild dogfight. Eventually, I see BSD just catching him on the feet. I'm not sure if we'll see much grappling here. It could just stay standing up the whole time. Either way, it's just going to be a fun fight. But hey, what do you guys think? Who's taking the win this Saturday? Drop your predictions in the comments. And do you agree with me, or do you think Moicano is going to pull it off? Let me know if you enjoyed this, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on my next one.